All right, Dakota Grabowski from GameZone, here with Louis Gigilati, and we're speaking about Metro 2033. All right, Louis, sell us on Metro.
Sell you on Metro.
Sell us.
All right, man. Well, it's pretty easy to sell. It's a great license. It's a great title. It's a great game. It's based on a book by a guy named Dmitry Glukovsky. You may not have heard of him yet, but you will. Next month, his book Metro 2033 is being translated into every language in the world. It's going to have a worldwide release next month. He wrote it a few years ago, and it's one of the biggest selling novels in Russian history. It's now being translated into other languages, and basically it's a post-apocalyptic tale of after the a nuclear blast in Moscow, and it's World War III, whatever you want to call it. If you're a Cold War kid, then you'd call it the World War III. But basically what happens is there's a nuclear blast, and if anybody knows anything about the metro system in Russia, in Moscow, it was actually designed and fitted out to support human life, and not just harbor them, but support them for years, and in case there was something like that happen. And you think humans would learn their lesson about trying to get along. Even they're down there and they start creating factions, and you've got all kinds of crazy factions. You've got our heroes area called exhibition, where it's a pretty non-hostile, and they're trying to create some semblance of normalcy, right? But then you've got like the neo-Nazis that spring up in their station, and the old communist supporters in one station. Some stations have been completely overrun by mutated creatures, that survived the blast, but obviously transformed into these hideous, dangerous creatures. But what really separates it, the fiction in the story and in the game, is that Dmitry has this whole aspect to this mystical aspect to it. So there's these characters that are very critical to the fiction called the Dark Ones, and they're really scary for a completely different reason. Mutated creatures, neo-Nazis, they're all scary because they shoot you or maul you and tear you to pieces. But these creatures actually attack you psychically. And if you see a station that's been attacked by the Dark Ones, instead of body parts and blood and guts that you see at some other stations, you just see disappeared. Most people have disappeared, and the ones that are there are in this like weird dementia, and they die about 2 or 3 days later. And obviously for people who've been underground for years and years and years, and there's something new to them, it's the most frightening thing in the world. It's mystical. Are they ghosts? What are they? Some people, like our hero's father, who plays an important role, he feels that they're humans that have evolved and they're going to inherit the earth. And other people, like Hunter, who's a guy you admire, who's this kind of badass that goes topside a lot to get pre-blast merchandise and ammo and guns. He just goes, screw it. He doesn't care what they are. They're hostile. You kill it. But what makes our hero Artyom very special is that when these things come in, and throughout the game you see this, they do these sonic or psychic attacks on people, and you see people passing out. Our hero is the only person who's immune. So that's what creates this connection in the fiction, in the story, and in the game. And throughout the game, you start seeing visions of these, and they start off as non-interactive visions, almost like dream sequences with these really creepy creatures. I don't want to give too much away, but as you progress through the game, much as you do in the book, it becomes an interactive experience. You start playing through these visions, and there's puzzles and all kinds of stuff.
Could you speak about multiplayer? How come it was excluded?
Well, one thing about this game is that it really we have an incredible piece of fiction when we wanted to adhere to that fiction. And, the story is really about this hero, Artyom, and why is he so unique? And he really is the most unique person left in the world. Like we said, that connection with the Dark Ones, where he's immune to them. And it's very rare that you get to benefit from having somebody who's created a piece of fiction like that. In a lot of ways, how we benefited in Darksiders for having Joe Mad being part of the studio. It's not, in this case, it's not like we saw some great book and we said, let's make a great game, because Dmitry actually is part of the studio. He's there every day. So the idea was, wow, you've got a great piece of fiction, you've got the author who's part of the team there at the studio, Let's create an incredible cinematic linear story, and try and give justice to a great piece of fiction.
All right, to conclude our session, could you speak on the sales of Darksiders and how happy THQ is with the sales?
Like we're very happy. Look, we're very proud of the game. I mean, on every level, it was a team effort. Everything from the the development team doing a phenomenal job, to on the publishing side, everybody coming together and really making it a team effort to not only get the game done and it be at the quality level it is, but also to get it out there and get in the hands of you guys and really kind of share what we're proud of. And so you keep your fingers crossed when everything, but and then when you see it doing well, like Darksiders is doing, it's just a really great feeling, man. I mean, look, it takes a long time to make a game nowadays. Not like when I first got in the industry, like 6 months and 3 dudes in your garage and you're done. Now it takes a development team. Those guys at Vigil, worked very hard, and everybody on the publisher side worked very hard to support that work. And it's the best feeling in the world when you actually see the public embracing it, and that the fact that they like it so much and it's selling well, man, it's great news for all of us.
Do you still stand by your claim that Bruce Willis should play War?
I'm never gonna live that down. You know what? Yeah, I do. Okay. I caught a lot of flack for that, but Bruce Willis kicks ass. And if someone like photoshops his face with like War's hair and all that, they'll see what I mean. He's perfect for the role. He doesn't even need the makeup.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thanks, man.